welcome to the interview. Your interview. I'm just letting you know now that this is a very extremely important interview, so you must take it seriously. I'm actually the main interviewer. Like, there's other interviewers, but I am like the main interviewer, so just make sure that everything you say is truthful in order for you to get the right position. Yeah. I mean, other than that, that's like the most serious part of this interview. Just make sure all of your answers are truthful. Yeah. You don't want to get a position in this company that doesn't really suit you. So each answer to this questionnaire will decide, I guess, your future. You know? If you really want to go that in depth. But yeah. I guess we'll get started on it. So the first question that we have is, how are you? We're going to start off with basic questions. Some of them might be something you might not be comfortable with answering, and we can always just move on. I'll just write down no or not available, but you will still hear me like writing. Yeah, I'm just filling it out. That's all we're doing here. Nothing too crazy. Yeah. So how are you? All right. All right, there we go. Oh wait. Sometimes I like to circle things just, to serve as a highlight. All right, next question. Why are you here? Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, makes sense. Alright, got that. Alright, interesting. What is your favorite color? So out of all of the colors, what's your favorite one? Huh. Alright. My favorite color is actually like a turquoise. I really like the color turquoise. A greenish blue. Reminds me of the ocean, the seaside. Yeah. I do like other colors. That's why I'm wearing a dress that has orange in it. I like flowers. So I don't just wear my favorite color. I do, in fact, enjoy pretty much all of the colors. Depending on the shade. Some shades I might like in artwork, and other shades I might like to actually wear in my clothing. I think everybody's like that to an extent, Alright, we'll move on to the next question then. Do you like water? Yeah, this one's a fairly important question. It just has to do with what you like to drink. But, do you like water? Just answer it yes or no. Alright. Perfect. Alright, I actually do prefer to drink water over any other drink. It's kind of a strange answer, I've been told. Alright, next question. Do you prefer top hats or bucket hats? So, top hats or bucket hats? You know, hats. This will actually decide what you're going to be wearing on the job. Basically, like, you're choosing your uniform. Yeah. You don't have any other option for hats. You only have these two options available to you. Yeah. Alright. Alright, I got that. Personally, I like bucket hats. I have this, what do you call it? Kelly green. It's like a bright green, like almost a dark green hat. A bucket hat. Yeah, and it really makes me happy. So if something makes you happy, why not wear it? If it's something you can control like that, if you just put on a hat and you're magically happy, why not do that, you know? Alright, yeah, we'll move on. Do you prefer watermelons or oranges? So out of those two fruits, which do you prefer? Huh, interesting. Yeah, you just never know what somebody's gonna say. It's honestly really interesting. Alright, do you like pie or cake? So out of those two desserts, which one do you prefer the most? This is probably one of my favorite questions. Oh, okay. Alright. Sounds like something you're passionate about. Alright. Interesting. Got that down. Next question. What is your favorite TV show? Your favorite. So, just to, explain this question further before you go on to answer, out of all of the TV shows, which one is your favorite? So, you have lots and lots of different TV shows to choose from. Basically, all of the TV shows ever made. Oh, okay. Interesting. Wow. That's actually a really interesting show. Interesting. Alright. Is that at the moment or of all time? So you might have been watching the show recently. Alright, yeah. Honestly, I can't decide what my favorite show is. I really like historical dramas. So most recently, I watched Anne with an E. And I really liked that. I mean, it just kind of ended randomly, and I don't think they're gonna be continuing it. Yeah, I'm kind of sad about that, because I really enjoyed the show. I thought it was really well done. Yeah, alright, moving on. Have you ever gone skydiving? Skydiving, yeah. I actually haven't, but I would really like to one day. Let me just put down your answer here. Alright, I got that down. Have you ever gone scuba diving? So, on the same note, skydiving, and now we're moving on to scuba diving. Oh, alright. Let me write that down. Myself, I have attempted to go scuba diving, but I was a little bit too scared to actually go under the water for too long. That was when I was, fairly young. I would consider trying it again sometime with the proper equipment, of course. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna switch to my pencil just for a few minutes here. We still have quite a bit to go. Alright, what is your spirit animal, if you have one? Okay. Just writing that down. Alright, what about your favorite animal? Favorite animal? Oh, okay. What about your favorite pet? It could be at the moment your favorite pet, or of all time, or you could give me both of your favorite pets and a few traits about them, perhaps. I'll write all this down. You go on and talk. Let me just write this down. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, my favorite pet, I had this pet duck, so I used to have pet ducks, and I still do now, but they're different ducks, of course. Yeah, her name was Snow White, and she used to like being held like a baby, cradled. She was super cute. Yeah, I named her after Disney, because I was really little. And Beauty was her sister. They were both very sweet ducks, but I specifically liked Snow White because she liked to be cradled and carried around the yard, and she would look at things like flowers while being carried. She was a cute duck. So yeah. But that's just like one of my favorite pets from the past. I also had other pets that I really enjoyed having around. Just one example. I have a lot of pets, and I have over the years, honestly. Yeah. I love animals. I really do. They make me so happy. Alright, what is the worst song in your opinion? So out of all the songs that you've ever listened to, which one do you think is the worst, or just like slightly bad? It doesn't have to be horrible, just like, it's not your thing. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Honestly, I'm not sure if I have a particular song that I think is the worst, but there are some that I really dislike. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just because it hurts your ears, depending on the speaker that's used. Yeah, the speaker quality has a lot to do with how the song sounds, I believe. It's just, stuff like that can really change how a song sounds. Yeah. Alright. I'm glad that we're on to the next page, because we were on that first page for a while. So in your opinion, What is the coolest sound? Interesting. Alright, let's write that down. Alright, next question. Which sound do you prefer? So I'm going to give you two options to choose from. Two different sounds. So that sound, or tongue clicking, like so. Out of those two sounds, which one do you prefer? Just so we get you know, to get to know you a little bit better. All right. Actually, let's just circle. I'm gonna circle it. Alright, that's the one for you right there. Okay, next question. What do you do with your spare time? Like a hobby, perhaps. Sorry, I didn't elaborate enough. Yeah. So when you're not working. Huh. Alright, we'll move on to the next question then, since you're done answering that one. It's interesting though, very interesting indeed. Let's see. What would be your dream job? Oh. You want to know a hobby of mine? Okay, before we move on to the next question, I'll let you know one of my hobbies, maybe two. I enjoy painting. Yeah, I like to paint either with oils, watercolors, or even acrylic paint. Yeah, on canvas. With the watercolor, I don't paint directly on like a traditional canvas. I'll paint on watercolor paper, so the water gets absorbed by the paper. Yeah, so there's that. And I also like to garden. I have a garden in my backyard, and currently I'm growing eggplants. Yeah. And flowers. I have a flower garden. I have a flower portion of my vegetable garden, so it attracts the bees and the butterflies to go and pollinate the rest of my plants. I don't just have eggplants though. I have many more, but I really can't think of them all. The only thing I can think of is eggplant. Yeah. Oh, I remembered. Tomatoes. There's another one. Tomatoes, eggplants. I have a lot of herbs and other vegetables I can't think of right now because I'm too busy interviewing you. Yeah. I also have pet ducks and chickens that run around the yard. It's really relaxing. Alright, what would your dream job be? Your dream job. So out of all the jobs in the whole entire world, what would be your dream job? Huh. I'm gonna write this one down with a pencil because I'm going to erase it and put in the job that I'm giving to you. Yeah, once we're done with this interview, because your dream job, quite frankly, doesn't matter because I'm deciding what job you're gonna get after this interview. Yeah, so we should just write it in pencil. Because the job I assigned to you based off of this questionnaire should be your dream job. If it's not, we'll replace your dream job with, we'll replace it with your new dream job. I mean, it will be a dream job, but yeah, you know what I mean. You don't like that. Alright, well, I'm not sure what to do about that, but I'm just writing it in pencil, just in case, you know. Alright, just let me know. This, oh, okay. This could affect what job you get. I might keep this in mind, if the rest of the interview goes well. Just be sure to pay attention and to answer honestly. Because I can tell when you're not being honest. I have a way of knowing. Alright. I'll keep that in mind. Alright, next question is, what was one of the most embarrassing moments of your life? You do have to just tell me like one small detail about it, because it'll help me get to know you better. You don't need to go into full detail if it is really super embarrassing. If it was just like a little bit embarrassing. Yeah, I know I said the most embarrassing, so it would be pretty embarrassing. Alright. Just an embarrassing, moment of your life. It doesn't have to be the most, because that's a lot to reveal in the first interview. Yeah, there's gonna be more interviews. Okay. Okay. I got that down. That is pretty embarrassing, honestly. I'll give you a small detail about some of my most embarrassing moments, ever. Usually it has to do with me running into a wall, or walking into a wall, or something to do with, I don't know, hitting a wall. Yeah. Yeah, it's not all that embarrassing, I guess, but there are more embarrassing moments that, well, honestly, I don't want to reveal to you just yet. Maybe in a different interview, we'll go into further detail. Yeah. Alright, let's move on then. Do you like to use the word heck? So, H-E-C-K. Heck. Oh, I see. Oh. Are you sure? Oh, okay. Well, I'll write that down then. Alright, I got that down. I won't reveal the correct answer to that question, because then you'll know like how you stand in this interview. I don't want to reveal that just yet. Alright, what was the first video game you ever played? Yeah. Interesting, okay. Alright, I got that down. The first video game I ever played. Probably Webkins, honestly. I I used to watch my cousins play games, but that's the first one I ever actually played. I know it's an online game. It shows a lot about the era I grew up in. I don't know if you ever played Webkins. Yeah. Alright, let's move on to the next question. Do you like ASMR? So, I'm not quite sure if you've ever heard of ASMR. ASMR is really quite interesting, but I'm not sure if you're the type to watch it in your spare time, because you didn't tell me that it's like something you do in your spare time. You listed quite a few things for what you do in your spare time, but it just so happened you didn't mention ASMR. So how do you feel about that? How do you feel about the ASMR? Oh, okay. So you do. You listen to ASMR on occasion, I see. Yeah, I really like ASMR. Yeah, that's about all I have to say about ASMR. It's fairly nice, I would say. Is it a big part of my life? I mean, it depends on who you ask, you know? Alright, let's move on. Why do you like ASMR, by the way? That's always... Let me write this down with my pencil. Yeah, just in case you change your mind. Alright. Yeah. Alright, I got that down. I enjoy ASMR a lot because it's just relaxing. Yeah. I'm not too sure if I should do ASMR myself. Maybe I would try it. Maybe I'll dabble in the ASMR. For fun sometime, Alright, oh, here's a question for you. This is a very interesting question. Sometimes I can never get these caps, on correctly, you know what I mean? Ah, there we go. And, once I get the cap on, I gotta do that, and it's just, what the heck? Alright. Oh, okay, I didn't get on my finger. Alright, what goes up but never goes down? So, this question, depending if you answer it correctly, will affect the outcome of this interview. Yeah. That is the correct answer, actually. Maybe. I mean, the way you answered it could be a little bit confusing, but to shorten it up, your age is the right answer, but I'll give it to you. I'll put a check mark. Yeah. You did it. We're not done with the interview. There's still more. Actually, quite a bit more to answer. Let's set this right over here. This is actually a very intense interview. Alright. What's the last thing you did for the first time? So, just to clarify this question, because I know a lot of people that have asked before about it have, been a little bit confused by the way the question is worded. Yeah, it's kind of a strange question. Alright, so let's read that again. What's the last thing you did for the first time? So, something you're doing for the very first time, like you're trying it out. When was the last time you did something new? Do you have a little bit of variety in your life, or do you just usually stick to things being one way? me write that down. Okay. Yeah. Actually, it's funny that you asked me that question back out of all of the questions. This is the first time I'm conducting an interview. I know that I'm like the top level interviewer, but this is the first time I'm conducting one, so I hope it's going well. Yeah. How did I get this job? That's kind of a rude question, to be honest, so we'll move on from it. I'm just the best interviewer at this company. Alright, let's move on then. What's the first thing you do when you're bored? So let's say you're bored one day. You're sitting there and you have absolutely nothing to do. Yeah. Absolutely nothing. You're staring at a wall. You're that bored. But you have technology, basic things that you do have next to you right now. What do you do? Alright, well, okay. Interesting. Wow, okay. That's actually a lot that you have to say. How is it that you're never bored then? If you have all those things that you can do, how is it that you ever get bored? I see. Yeah, sometimes when you stop doing something for a while, yeah, let's say you stop, sleeping, you might get a little bit bored of staying awake for so long, and you might need to sleep. Yeah, that makes sense to you. Yeah, sleep is always a good thing. Sometimes it's hard to catch up on sleep, and it seems like the hours are just ticking by. Like half an hour can go by before you know it. Yeah, just always make sure to get enough sleep. Yeah. Alright, what can you talk about for hours? So just to clarify that question before you answer, what can you talk about for a long period of time? So multiple hours, not just 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, something like that. Something that can really fill up time. What can you talk about for that long? I see. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that is pretty interesting. I usually can talk about the concept of time for many hours, especially when I'm tired, for sure. I just ramble on about time and how time passes quickly, kind of like how I did when I was talking about sleep a few moments ago. Yeah, I just go on and on about time. I really don't know how people put up with my rambles about time. I honestly think it makes them sleepy. I really do. I know. Yeah. Alright, we'll move on to the next question before I start talking about time. Let's get the marker back out for this one. This one is pretty interesting. What is something you almost always buy at the grocery store? So whenever you go to buy food, what's something you usually buy? Like, not just every once in a while, but pretty much every time you go. What do you run out of the most? That's, food related. Alright. Yeah, I can see what that is. I usually like to buy strawberries when they're in season. Even when they're out of season, I just love strawberries and berries, just blueberries. And you get them fairly often because they're perishable food items. Yeah, of course. Let me write that down for you. Okay, got that. Yeah, let's move on. Alright, do you sleep with the lights on or off? So, when you go to bed, either at night, during the day, honestly, I don't know what other time you can go to sleep if it's not during daylight hours or nighttime hours. I don't think I can explain any other time of the day. See, I'm talking about time again. I didn't even mean to do it that time. So when you go to sleep at night or during the day, do you turn the lights on or off? Or if you have the lights on when you're going to sleep, do you even bother to get up and turn them off? Okay. I actually normally sleep with the lights off, and I've actually met quite a few people who say that they sleep with their lights on to go to bed. Yeah, it's actually interesting to, ask somebody that question, to get to know them better. That really gives me some good insight, as to what job to give you, Yeah. Alright, next question. What color are your eyes? So, this is just like a fun question. I know that all of the other questions have been pretty serious, other than the beginning questions. Even then, I was asking how you are, which can be, a hard question to answer. This one is meant to be a light-hearted question in the middle of a very intense interview process. So let's answer that. Yeah, I honestly can't see your eyes that well from here. You're a little bit, far away. Wait a sec, you want me to look at your eyes? Okay. I'm still not sure what color eyes you have, Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how to explain your eye color. It's just a little bit, dim in this room, dimly lit. Oh, interesting. Alright, let me write that down. Huh. Well, I like your eyes. I think they're really pretty. Pretty eyes. Yeah, my eyes are, I think, blue. I don't really know, honestly. I mean, they just change. I think everybody's eyes change, though. I think they're blue right now. They're definitely blue, I would say. I don't know. Grayish blue. Some kind of blue. Alright, moving on. That's the one fun question you get. Now we're moving on to a more serious topic. This one is, would you rather time travel to the past or the future, and why? So you can't just tell me past or future. You have to explain why, because that really gives me an in-depth look to you and the way that you think about time, maybe. Because I'm really into time. I don't know about you, but let's see. Oh, alright. Oh, okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Alright, moving on then to, I'm pretty sure the last page of our interview. This has been quite an extensive interview, to be honest. I didn't expect you to be this interesting. Yeah, yeah, considering this is my first interview, I wasn't sure how it would go. Yeah. Alright, next one. What do you expect to be doing an hour from now? So, out of all the things that you might do when you're bored, because I know you're going to be bored after this interview, what do you expect to be doing in an hour? 60 minutes from now. Like I said, I'm obsessed with the concept of time. Yeah. Alright, I got that down. Have you ever built a snowman? So, you know, snowman. I feel like I said that weird. Snowman. Snowman. Okay, have you ever built one? I'm just wondering, you know. It's actually really not a fun question. This is an intense question. Oh, okay. Do you want to build a snowman? Yeah, like right now? Okay. Alright. We'll move on to the next question. That was a really interesting answer. Okay, so the next question on this very intense interview. What's a question you would like to answer, but no one ever asks you it? So maybe something that you haven't yet seen on my interview. What's the question and what's the answer? Go on. Yeah, it's okay. I'm writing it down. Do you have the answer for it? Yeah, okay. You were just waiting for me to write it down. I'm pretty fast at writing. Oh, that's an interesting answer, actually. I really like that question and the answer you gave. I think this will really make your chances higher of getting the job of your dreams that we wrote down earlier for you. Yeah, so it'll be a pretty good chance that you're gonna get your dream job. Depending on the rest of the interview. Yeah. Alright, what color is your bedroom? So, wherever you sleep, what color are the walls painted around you? Oh, okay. So, on the YouTube tutorials on how to give an interview, I learned that a lot of people paint their bedroom or their house their favorite color. You know? Yeah. It was a video that the company showed me on how to give interviews, and that's why I'm so polished and good at giving interviews, because I have that experience of watching a YouTube tutorial. Yeah. Alright, let's move on then. How many hours of sleep do you get on an average night? So, give or take, just an average night. So, not a night when you're out, camping, just like a normal night at home or whatever you do in your day-to-day life. How much sleep do you get? Oh, I'll write that down then. Alright, that tells me a lot about you. It really does. Yeah, believe it or not. Alright, we'll move on then. Since you mentioned that you enjoy the ASMR a little bit here and there, yeah. What's your favorite ASMR trigger? I'm just curious, So out of all of the ASMR triggers, ASMR. Yeah, some people confuse which letters go where in that sequence. So let's go over that again. ASMR. So it's A S M R. ASMR. So, yeah, what's your favorite trigger? Your favorite sound in the ASMR? I personally really enjoy tapping. And I saw this really cool ASMR person have this moldy jar, this mason jar. So I decided to go and get my very own moldy mason jar with this specific amount of water in it. As you can see, I waited for the mold to grow. I waited, and it's a moldy jar now. And it makes this really cool sound. So how do you feel about this? I may or may not be a huge fan of ASMR, but you can't tell anybody, because this interview is, top secret. Yeah. I'm not embarrassed with the ASMR, of course not. It's just a moldy jar that's a little bit weird to, tell people about. You know what I mean? It's just kind of a strange thing to have lying around in my purse. A moldy jar, But I take it everywhere with me. Yeah. Moldy jar. We'll move on from the moldy jar sounds. Alright, let's write down your favorite sound. Alright. Alright, I wrote that down in marker because I want to make sure that doesn't get erased. Alright. On a scale of 1 to 7, how would you rate this interview? Before you answer, just keep in mind, this will, the answer, it really will affect my position as being the top interview person. So I would, yeah. Oh, thank you. Okay. Yeah, I know, it's an amazing interview. I'm very good at it. So let's write that down. You don't think I'm the best at it, though. I'm not writing that down. Yeah, I mean, I'll pretend to write it down to humor you, but... Or am I just thinking out loud? Okay. I wrote that down. Let's move on to the next thing. Lastly, this is the last question of this interview. There will be many more to come. But the last question is, do you like broccoli? It's a very intense and interesting question. How do you feel about the broccoli? The broccoli vegetable? It'll really change your position at this company. Alright, I'll write that down then. You have a very strong opinion about that, huh? Really interesting. Alright, I got that down for your last question. And, I really just wanted to thank you for this wonderful interview. I think you did an amazing job answering these really, tough questions. Yeah, and I'll have you back for the second interview in a while. I'll get back to you on when that will be. But for now, I may or may not give you your dream job. It's all really up to me, but I like you, so I'll leave you with that. You can think about whether or not you're gonna get your dream job or not from me at this very company. Basically it all depended on the answer to the last question, if you like broccoli or not. I just, asked you all those other ones to kind of, throw you off your game, so you're just like, oh, which one's the deciding factor to this position? And that one was it. So I'll get back to you. You can assume whether or not you got it, but just to be sure, keep an eye out for future calls and, notifications. Yeah, so thank you for hanging out for this interview, and I had a lovely time. And definitely catch up on your sleep, because sleep is good for you, Just close your eyes and relax. And just remember that tomorrow's a new day, full of opportunity. If today didn't go very well for you, just remember that there's always tomorrow. Yeah, I hope that you have a lovely, lovely rest of your day or night, whatever time it is, because I have no idea what time it is. Considering I'm obsessed with time, I have no idea, but I'll see you. Alright, goodbye.